Gonna be Annihilate over for the team one. We got ourselves Dally, Rasta. We got ourselves Wild Impy and Flex. Gonna be first up on the Death Knight. That is Flex, right? That is Flex, the Survival Hunter. Just on a DK, on the DK grind. Got himself Axe for Days as the first competitor to the Fury Warrior. What do you do against Warriors as a Death Knight? It is a tough matchup. I think you have to play it super carefully. You have to get the trinket, and then you have to have the biggest burst combo while they're stunned up. Blind on Axe for Days. He goes in for a go. That does deny him the ability to really establish a lot of control. Disarm onto the Death Knight. Does have the grippy hand. That is still a lot of damage on the Axe for Days, though. It's going to be a full stun spear with a reflected stun onto reflects. Can't really do much about it. Does try to see if I can walk away. Axe is able to catch up with him very, very quickly. And I think Rip is just trying to see if he can avoid Axe for Days, not let him recover a lot of health, at least wait out for his cooldowns, and then maybe go in and fight him right after. On to Axe for Days, actually get a couple of good crits, but Axe got plenty of healing and Rage Regen, Stormbolt to Rip, does go in for a trinket, got up to the AMS, but this is not really the burning fire Rage of Fury Warrior. This is gonna burn you. He's just angry. The man is literally on fire just through rage alone, just for friction alone. He's been grinding that Axe for a while, making sparks. It's not fire. Stun onto Axe for Days. But Rip is disarmed. Can't really do much about it. Has to go for at least sustained damage. Got himself Emotes Winter with a Frost Fever, but at what cost? I mean, Axe is just going to get a stun onto you with a couple of rampages, a couple of raging blows. Rip does go in for a bit of a heal. Can Rip potentially overcome the Warrior threat, though? I think he needs a stun. He got himself full cooldown, so he could potentially make something happen. Big up Blitzer going to crack into the defenses. Does not have a big defense right now. Wait, actually, Blitz could maybe do it. Oh, he does turn it around. He just did a couple of blitz without the guy having a defensive or a disarm. That's going to be grippy onto Vindy immediately. As Vindy hits him with a stun, big IM to follow. Just have himself a big go. Hunt, but that's going to be instead of the Hunt, actually cancel his own Hunt. It's going to be a big dome. No hunting zone in this one. And Vindy backing up out of there. Can hold on to the Hunt and use it later, though. Vindy with a fear into a Hunt right after. I think Flex takes more damage while coming out of fear, doesn't he? Stun onto Vindy, but he's feeling pretty confident. Actually, I guess maybe not. It looked like he was feeling confident not to shrink it, but then decided to anyway. That does give Reflex an opportunity to, one, control the Death Knight, two, lock him down to stun once his cooldowns are available. And actually, cooldowns are up right now. Maybe can make someone work. Big grippy hand, stun onto Vindy. It is going to be very, very short. Does Reflex just going for damage? Silence onto Vindy. I didn't go for immunity. No grip to pull him back down from the sky. And Reflex has to play it very defensive. Full bar runic power, has a trick, and Dark Pact very, very soon. So maybe could use those things in order to survive Vindy long enough. Gonna be Vindy with the stun onto Flex. Flex had a trick for it, avoiding the I-beam in the first place. Got himself Lichborn, using that runic power to heal himself up before the dampening really skyrockets as we're still only in 30%. Is that a metamorphosis? Did you just metamorphosis? Did you just metamorphosis where you stand, not towards Flex? Is there a reason for it? He's going to try to see if he can potentially back up out of there. Going to be maybe a stun by Flex. Does get an interrupt onto Vindy. Needs a stun with full pillar. Maybe he can make some work here. Does he have full go? He may just have to do it. Pillar's up. Going to be a big shatter. But does Flex come in? Does he just go in for full damage? Needs a stun onto Vindy. Vindy's actually kind of low. Silence to follow. Maybe can interrupt Demon Hunter to a certain degree. Does go up in the air. Does he take him out? Wait, Vindy could die here. Hold on. Is there a dot on you? Frost Reaver's on you. Does Reflex have himself a big axe to follow? Stun. Oh, he does it, eliminating him. What? Wait a second. Reflex is living in a bit of a shadow of Chilpas, but he's kind of following his footsteps too. Try to see if he can make the Frost DK work. Chicago going in for a bit of an auto duel, letting Flex catch up a little bit of healing. Flex walks in, couple of death strikes, but it's kind of nice that Chicago just let him get a couple of those hits. Blinded in Chicago as they did pop a wall stun right after. It's going to be silence to follow as Reflex is trying to see if he can shred through Chicago, but the defensive for the Shaman, full maelstrom, plenty of mana. It should be okay. Dome down for Flex. Try to keep Chicago in the dome. It's like, don't stay here. Stay in my little igloo. I want you here as a big zap comes out. As soon as you leave that dome, that's where the lightning strikes. Chicago knows exactly to strike when the iron is hot. As Flex tried to see if he can avoid him, Dark Pact has been used in order to give himself a little bit more health. The Ghosts and Raptors are going to start nipping at your toes. The Lackluster is going to prevent you from being able to move. Does go for a trinket. That's going to be mad Ascendance. That's what you got to be worried about. The Ascendances, the stuns, the sunders. And Chicago actually able to deliver quite a bit of damage, but Reflex so far has been able to heal a ton. As Reflex is kind of limited on what they could really do here. Can go for a couple of death strikes, but the runic power, I mean, it's just not going to be that big value. Chicago actually trying to see if he can juke him out with a leap. Charges right back to him. Big Ascendance, stun by Flex. Regripping Chicago back in as he gets knocked back with the stun right after. Just trying to see if he can control Chicago, get a couple of damage, just chip away their health, and then back up whenever they need to. Not a lot of health available. Not much it can really do. Root it out in the open. Chicago's gonna go for some big LA blast. Any kind of elemental damage could actually be pretty big. When Chicago actually died to the snowball. Wait, the snowball between them and the earth elemental could actually be really, really deadly. Wall by Chicago. Reflex needs anything he can in order to survive this. Chicago with a wall should be plenty healthy though. Reflex unless you got any more healing. Oh, Chicago with a lava launch at the end does end up taking him out. That snowball between them and the earth elemental almost got Chicago low. If that was one of the snowballs that does more damage, the more bounces or bounces longer, I feel like that could have been deadly. Got rolled into a kiddish shot in Chicago and needs to find a way to deal with the rogue. It's going to be immediate cloak of shadows by Dally, trying to avoid any damage to Chicago. Did they get the dots up? I think Chicago may just be done for the count unless they got any kind of healing. Like the last one with the death mark is Anya. Not much you can do about it. Dally even chooses to trick it, with Linthania going to be the last person standing over for the team too. Trying to see if they can fight through Dally, Rasta, Wild Imp, and Annihilate, but has to first go through an Assassination Rogue. Gonna be Linthania trying to see if he can avoid Dally, building up a little bit of comp points. Got himself evasion really early on. Dally trying to see if he can shot us up around the corner. Big back-to-back ambushes are up. Bootful Steps is up for Linthania. Do they have enough damage to blast from Dally? Actually got big pistol shots to follow. Do they have any damage right after? That's still Sepsis on Dally. Could still be dead either way though. Cheat Death maybe will keep him alive. Cheat Death does keep him rolling though. Does go for Warlock House and does Linthania catch up to him though. Maybe grapple? Grapple and pistol shot the guy, does Shadow Step to him. Gonna be a couple of sinister strikes. Get a shot by Dally, looking to escape. But does he get to? Mark for Death got full dots, but I think it's over. Linthania does end up taking him out. Almost had him in the first go, but a Warlock, I feel like that may be the worst matchup here. That would be the worst matchup. Arms Warrior, you can maybe do something. Feral Druid, potentially if you can bypass the bleeds somehow or evade the bleeds, maybe you can make something work. Demonology Warlock, that may be the toughest one of them all. Gonna be Linthania getting smacked up, but the Demon Dog is full. Demons are starting to coalesce around. There was Wild Imp trying to find a better angle. Gonna be Linthania still taking a lot of damage from the Demon Dogsman. Has to have an answer. Gonna be another Felgar join in. Does go for a vanish. As soon as he a Tyrant, sees the Obelisk. Definitely want to take down the Obbies, man. You definitely want to take down the Obelisk whenever they're up. Obelisks are just going to increase the value of these pets. Your Tyrant knows exactly where you are. Wait a second. This thing literally knows where you go. Does Wild Imp know? He sees the Tyrant walking in a random direction. He must know at that point, right? He must know, like, okay, he probably has him. He probably has spotted him. He has keen senses. The Tyrant is normally a really dumb pet, unless it's chasing after rogues, and then it's insane for it. Gonna be Demon Dog is charging in. They try to see if he can outride the demonic army, but Wild Imp catches up to him on top of the platform. Blind Wild Imp trickles out of it. Lieutenant trickles as well, gouging the Wild Imp. Trying to see if he can outrun him. Does not have evasion for a while, but not gonna be able to catch himself a proper reach. It's gonna be a curse onto Linthania with Demon Doggos touching him. I think it's gonna be also a Doom on him as well. Gonna be big explosive by the fellow Rupture Egg. That's gonna shout us up towards Wild Imp with a reroll of the bones. Unless you maybe Cloak of Shadows and evasion and maybe immune all the damage you're taking. Maybe it's a tough one to be in. Wall to follow onto Linthania. Well, Wild Imp. Linthania has no help whatsoever. I think just dead to the Demon Doggo, yeah? Felguard spinning. He's spinning. Evasion is keeping him alive a little bit, but as soon as that's gone, oh man, Demon Bolt around the corner. That's a rough one, man. Flags did really good, by the way. Really good for Frost DK. Very well done. Let's get ourselves another going here, boys, yeah? Oh, Huge Buttman? Yo, we didn't get to see Huge Buttman this week at all, man. He's usually on EU. He's usually on EU.